Hi everyone, I'm going to be talking about Jonestown, the life and death of the People's Temple. I actually have a picture right here showing what I'm going to be talking about. So right here is Jim Jones, and the picture right beside him is the community that he built. And the society, I actually chose obedience, so my definition was a person higher up that states orders that will be obeyed by the people they are in charge of. So the example I got from the video was while on bus number 7, Jim Jones sat next to Deborah Layton. She told her side of the story on the interview in the video. That's what I'm going to be telling you all. So she said that Jim Jones told her to go in the back of the bus when they stopped at the rest stop. She said earlier that she smelled alcohol on him when she sat next to him. So even though she smelled alcohol on him and had a bad feeling about it, she still obeyed him and waited for him to come back to the back of the bus when he told her to. I think a lot of people will make decisions like that either in fear or in this case negative. It could be negative obedience. I have a picture here, and it shows it looks like a mentor, or the person higher up is leaning on his knee. You could either take this in a negative way or a positive way. It looks like they are giving them some comfort or orders or whatever you want to think about it as. And he is talking to the smaller person that looks like a child. I think that was a good image for obedience, either positive and negative. The two factors that influence obedience. The first one I picked was there were no role models for defiance. My definition for that was people in society will not stand up for something that they know is wrong. The example that I got from the video was a woman was told to get naked in front of the church so that people could point out things about her body. And Jim Jones just stood there smirking. People were saying that it seemed like he liked it, but obviously that is wrong. That's a wrong thing to do. The woman's face was full of embarrassment from the situation, and no one stood up and pointed out that it was wrong of that to be happening. Tim Carter had an interview, and he said in his interview, "I have a conscious memory of thinking to myself that this is wrong, and I didn't do a damn thing to stand up and say this is wrong." I have a video clip for you guys to show you that part of the video.
Jim was getting notes, kind of love notes from one of the members on the planning commission.
Jones is sitting there calmly. And so another lady said, "Well, I don't know why you keep doing that. What makes you think you got something that he wants anyway?" And so another woman says, "Well, you know what? You ought to just take off your clothes and show him what you got. You ain't got nothing." And so by this time, they look back to Jones, and so he looks up his glasses, and he nods with approval. "Yeah, that's a good idea."
She was to be totally naked, and she was down to nothing but her skin. Not even any shoes on, no bra, no panties, no nothing.
Then they begin to say what her breasts look like, her stomach, butt, vagina, you name it. Everything they could think of, they were saying. By this time, her face is red. Her body's almost red from embarrassment. And I noticed something. Jones was sitting, looking over his sunglasses, but he had a smile on his face, like he's really enjoying this woman being torn down.
I have a conscious memory of sitting there thinking to myself, this is wrong. And I didn't do a damn thing to stand up and say, this is wrong.
It's like a child in a dysfunctional
that was the example for There Were No Rules for Defiance. I have a picture right here. I feel like in some point in time, if there is a lot of negative obedience on someone, that can weigh someone down. And that picture really represents that aspect of it. The second influence is the person giving the orders was close at hand and was perceived to be a legitimate authority figure. I took that as the person in charge was close by giving orders. So the example I have for that one is Jim Jones was always around his followers, giving them orders, either in the church, right in front of them, around them. They lived in the same community and society. He was usually all around because people looked up to him. And he was ultimately manipulating them to think he was doing all of this for them. So all of what he was doing was good, and it was just all for them. He made his followers believe that he was a good person, but in reality, he was awful. Obviously, the people in the interviews on the video realize that now from going through it. And then I also have another picture right here. It's kind of the same concept as the picture right here. So obedience, negative effects of obedience can keep someone in their place and not really feel like they're living their own life. The next slide demonstrates I did roles and how role-playing can affect attitudes. My definition for that was a role that someone or a group obtains while in society that affects their behavior towards others. The example I have for that is when Jim Jones basically created his own community and society with the People's Temple. Everyone was assigned a role in the community to show their loyalty to the temple. They had meetings all the time. They said that they didn't really get much sleep. They had a part in the video where Jim Jones handed out punch to everyone, and after they drank it, he said it was poison, and he said it was a test for them to show their loyalty for the temple. Ultimately, that was very wrong, and it changed a lot. But anyways, their attitudes changed and became more willing to do certain things for the community that they were a part of. So because Jim Jones was basically their mentor, they were more willing to do things because he would tell them to, and that was basically their job because they got certain things for doing things for Jim Jones. They thought they were getting very good benefits from basically like working for Jim Jones. The second topic was groupthink. What I got out of that was when a group chooses to be in agreement with one another regardless of what they think. The example I have is all the members of the People's Temple have the same ideology that was taught to them by Jim Jones regardless of their personal beliefs. I have a picture right here that represents what I'm talking about. They kind of, they all think the same because they are blind of what Jim Jones is actually doing. So their personal beliefs are kind of out the window in regards to Mr. Jones. That is all I have for my PowerPoint on Jonestown. I wanted to talk about some of the negative effects of obedience. Obviously there is positives, but this assignment was, and the video was around the negative effects of obedience. So some of those are destruction within people and a society. Obviously, we saw that in the video. That can cause people to suffer from what they're going through, even though they may be blind of what is actually going on around them. They may not even notice that the things that they were doing was not good for them or anyone around them. And then there's a lot of historical events that you learn in history classes and you read in books and you hear from other people that demonstrates what was in the video. For example, the Holocaust. That was a big historical event, and it kind of revolves around the video that we did watch, and the negative effects that obedience can do and could occur in people. That's all I have for now. Thank you for watching.